So if you look at the example problems from yesterday, were there any of these 4 problems that were tricky, that seemed weird, that you want to see more like that type of example problem? Were any of these strange? These 4 example problems, were they okay? You guys, they were fine? What do you guys think? They were good? We were good? Yeah? Okay. So I think maybe what we could do is I think what I'll do is give you guys the assignment, and then, because I think some of the ones, if I give you the assignment, you'll look at some of them and be like, I don't like that one, let's do that one. So we're going to look at just the front side. Don't look at the back side yet. We'll do it like yesterday. We'll do the front side first, and then we'll do the back of it second. And then remember from yesterday, we have 2 sheets that we're turning in from yesterday. And then Jamani and Lexi, if you guys have your notes, I need to see them. Okay. So if we look at this, thank you. If we look at this, what problems seem intimidating? Because I know there are definitely some intimidating ones on this sheet. We can do a bunch of them. Let's maybe choose one from set 1. D? Okay. So between the 9 and the 30, what number could you divide out? Between 9 and 30, what number could you divide out? 3. You could divide a 3 out. Okay. And between an x to the 3rd and an x, what could you divide out? Just 1x, yeah. So this one has 3 x's, this one has 1x, so you can only take 1x out. Okay. So now we're going to say 9 divided by 3 is what? 3. And if we had x to the 3rd, that means we have 3 x's, x times x times x, and we took one of them out, then how many are left over? 2. So we're going to say x squared. And then for the next one, we say 30 divided by 3. 10. And we took the x out, and so there's no x's left. So that one's done. All right. So if we look at the answers, it says factor the expression in the directions. We did that. Find a factor in each of the 2 answer columns. One factor will have a letter and the other will have a number. Okay, so if we look first, we have the 3x, that's the number 2. And then the second factor is 3x squared plus 10, that's the letter t. And now the instructions say to write the letter in the matching numbered box at the bottom of the page. So in box 2, we're going to write the letter T. So in box 2, we write the letter T. Okay, let's move on to set 2. Set 2 has some really complicated problems, so maybe we'll want to do more than one of these. So which problem do you guys want to try first? B? D? Let's try B first, and then we'll try another one. So if you look at problem B, we have a 7, we have a 35, we have a 14. So between 7, 35, and 14, what number can you divide out? You can take out a 7. All of those have a 7 in there. So I'm going to take out a 7. You have an a to the fourth, so that's a. You have an a to the third, so a. You have an a squared, a. So how many a's can we take out? What's in common between them? This one has 4, this one has 3, this one has 2. So what can happen to all of them? We can take out 2 because all of them have at least 2. So this one's got 2, this one's got more than 2, that one has more than 2. So they all have at least 2. So I'm going to take out an a squared because they all have at least that. Okay, so 7 divided by 7 is 1. Now, when we have a coefficient of 1, you can choose to write the 1 or you can choose to not write the 1. It's up to you. Most math people do not write the 1. So you can write it or not write it. It is up to you, okay? Now, if we had 4 A's and we took 2 of them out, how many do we have left over? 2. Okay? Now, on the next term, 35 divided by 7 is 5. Okay? We have 3 A's. We took 2 of them out. We got 1 left over. Okay? Now, 14 divided by 7 is 2. We had 2 A's. We took them out. So no more A's. Okay. So now we got 7a squared. 7a squared is number 13. A squared minus 5a minus 2 is a y. So in box 13, we're going to put a y. Okay, let's do problem D. Problem D. What number goes into 36 that also goes into 24 that also goes into 60? 6, 12. So 6 goes into it, 2 goes into them, 3 goes into them, I think 4 goes into them, but those are not the biggest number. The biggest number is 12. And if you're having a hard time coming up with the numbers, you can always look over here in this column because these are the answers, right? And you can see like, oh, what other number should I try? Because the worksheet kind of gives you some help. So 12 is the GCF for the numbers. And then if we look, we have a to the third, a to the fourth, a to the fifth. So what should we write? A to the third goes into all of them, okay? So if we do 36 divided by 12, what do we get? 3. We had 3 A's. We took out 3 A's. So what do we have? No more A's. Christian, go ahead and bring your phone up here and put it in the prison. So we haven't gotten to those terms yet. So we're saying for the first term, I had 3 A's, I already took them out, and so I don't have any more left to get the first term. Yeah, good question. All right, for the next term, 24 divided by 12, 2. And I had 4 A's, but I took 3 of them out, so how many do I have left over? 1. So I'm going to put 1A right there. 60 divided by 12 is 5. I had 5 A's and I took 3 of them out, so I have 2. Okay. So 12A to the third, so that's the 19. And then I've got 3 minus 2A plus 5A squared. That's the T. So on box 19, I'm going to put a T. Okay. Say that again? Yeah, and we can do one in set 3 too, because those are weird also. All right, so set 3. Which problem should we do? B? We can do B and C. Okay, so for problem B, between a 10 and a 25, what number? 5. Okay, between 10 and 25, we should take out a 5. Okay, between an m to the third and an m squared, what should we take out? 2, m squared, okay. Between an n squared and an n to the third, what should we take out? 2, so take out an n squared. So see how I just compared the things that were similar. So I compared the numbers, I compared the m's, and I compared the n's. And so now we're going to look at them one at a time. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. I had 3 m's, but I took 2 of them out. So I have 1. I had 2 n's, and I took 2 of them out. So no more, okay? 25 divided by 5, 5. I had 2 m's, and I took 2 of them out. So they're done. I had 3 n's, and I took 2 of them out. So we have 1. Okay. So we have 5m squared n squared and 2m minus 5n. So in box 10, we're going to put an O. In box 10, we're going to put an O. Okay, for problem C, we have a 49, we have a 28. What number can come out of those? 7, okay. We have an m to the 5th, and we have an m that's all by itself. What exponent do you have if it's all by itself? A 1, okay. So we have an m to the 5th and an m to the 1. What can come out? 1. Okay, so an m to the 1 is going to come out. I'm just going to write the 1 so I don't forget. And then we have an n to the 3rd and an n to the 4th. N to the 3rd, okay. So what's the trick if you're looking at your letters? What can come out? If you compare them, how do you always know which one gets to come out? If you have 2 different exponents, which one comes out? The smaller one, yeah. Whatever one's smaller, that's what comes out. And if one of the terms has the variable and one of the terms does not, then that letter doesn't get to come out at all, because it has to be the same. It has to be in both of the terms. Okay, so 49 divided by 7 is 7. We had 5 m's. We took out one of them. So we have 4, m to the 4th. Okay. We had 3 n's. We took out 3. So no more n's. 28 divided by 7, 4. We had 1 m. We took out 1 m. M's are done. We had 4 n's. We took out 3 n's. 1 n. Okay. So this is box 18. 7m n. Nope. Box 22. 7m n to the 3rd. Box 22. And the answer is P. Box 22, put a P in it. Okay. Can we do which one? E? Yeah. Okay. So if we look at E, between the 8 and the 22, what number's in common between 8 and 22? 2. So 2 is going to come out. And then between m to the third and m to the fifth, 3. Okay, m to the third. Between n to the fourth and n to the sixth, 4. Okay. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay. You had 3 m's, you took 3 out. So do we write an m? Nope. You had 4 n's, you took 4 out. Don't even write it. Okay. 22 divided by 2, 11. M to the fifth, you took 3 out, 2. N to the sixth, you took 4 out, 2. Okay, so 2, m to the third, n to the fourth. That looks like problem 12. So box 12, and the answer is going to be L. So in box 12, we're going to put an L. Okay. In set 4, what problem should we do in set 4? Which one? B. Okay, so between a 12, a 9, and a 6. 12, 9, and 6, what number could we take out? 3. I'm going to take a 3 out. We have x to the fifth, x to the fourth, x to the third. How many do we take out? Did I hear it? Third? So we're going to take out an x to the third. And then we have a y squared, y squared, y squared. So y squared, yeah. Okay. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. We had 5. We took out 3. 2. We had a y squared. We took it out, so we don't have to write it. 9 divided by 3. 3. We had 4. We took 3 out. So 1. We had a y squared. We took it out, so we don't have to write it at all. 6 divided by 3, 2. We had 3. We took it out, so none. We had a y squared. We took it out, so none. Okay. So 3x to the third, y squared. So in box 25, we're going to write a y. Okay. What's another one we should do? D? Okay. 144, 27, 9. We can do E also. Let's do D first, and then we can do E. Okay, so D, 144, 27, and 9. Nine goes into 9, 9 goes into 27. Let's check. Does 144 divide by 9? Yes. Yes? Okay, so let's take out the 9. Okay, and then we have an x to the 8th, an x to the 4th, and an x squared. X squared. And then we have a y squared, a y, and no y. So no y. So we can't take out a y because one of the terms doesn't have it. Okay. So 144 divided by 9, 16. Okay. X to the 8th. So we had 8 x's. We took out 2 of them. So 6. And we didn't take out any y's, so we need all of those. Yep, y squared. Yep, 27 divided by 9 is 3. Okay. X to the 4th, we took out 2 of them. X squared. Plus 1, yeah. So for the last term, we say 9x squared. If we took out the whole thing, we have to leave a 1 as a placeholder. So 9x squared divided by 9x squared. Anytime you divide something by itself, you put a 1. So that was kind of a weird part right there. Okay. So 9x squared is right here. Box 5. So in box 5, we're going to put the letter N. Okay. Box 5 gets an N. Okay. And then let's do letter E. Does anyone recognize what we're going to take out? Not a 2, because there's a 2 in the first term, but not in the second. Not the x squared, because there's an x squared and then a y squared. So there's only one thing in common. What is it? It's a pi. So we're going to take a pi out. That's the only thing in common. So once you take the pi out, what's left over in the first term? 2x squared. Okay. And once you take the pi out, what's left over in the second term? Y squared. Done. So in box 23, we're going to put an L. Okay. As you look at the sheet, are there any other intimidating problems? On set 2? See, 6, 10, and a 3. For something like that, it means that the numbers have nothing in common. So like the 6 and the 10 look like they'd have 2 in common. The 6 and the 3 look like they'd have 3 in common, but the 10 and the 3 have nothing in common. So that means you would not take out a number. You would say there's no GCF with the numbers. You would only take out something for the A. Yeah, like a to the 4th is what you would take out, and you would leave all the numbers behind. Yeah, good question. That's a really good one. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone else see anything weird about any of the problems you want to ask? Okay. Go ahead and work on those. Do you guys remember if you did the box method or if you did guess and check? Yeah, in my honors class, the students who remembered it said that they did box method. That was the most common. Okay, box method. Did you like the box method? Would you like to do the box method? It was easier, you thought, than this one? Okay. Would you guys prefer to do the box method? Did you like this one? You like this? You are welcome to do any method you want. I've taught all different methods, so I'm comfortable with whichever one you guys choose to do. So we're going to need our calculators because this one has the different type of multiplication. No. All right, so let's go ahead and try another one of these. I'm going to flip this over. Lead tab, Jonathan. Jonathan, we're taking notes. Marvelous. All right. So let's try 2r squared plus 9r minus 5. And I'm going to write it, I'll write it this way and I'll write it the box method way. I do not want you to write it 2 ways. I want you to write it only 1 way. Okay? I'm just going to write it both ways so that you guys can write it whichever the way that you are comfortable with. Okay? All right. So whether you are a box person or not, we start the problem the same way. So box people, you're going to be over here. Regular people, well, not regular, but slide divide people, you'll be over here. Okay, so the first thing we do is we say, okay, there's a number in front of the squared term, so we're going to have to take this number and slide it over. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 10 but add to 9. I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 10 but add to 9. And I need you guys to do your little calculator trick. I don't have the calculator in front of me. I think it's in my purse. So two numbers that multiply to negative 10 but add to 9. You guys finding it? What are the numbers? 10 and negative 1. Okay, so if you are a box method person, then you are putting 2r squared, negative 5, and then your 10 and your negative 1 are going to fill in the other two boxes. It doesn't matter which one you do. Now, if you are not a box method person and you prefer this method, that's fine. Do not write this work. So you're going to do one or the other. You're not going to do both, okay? You choose the way you like. So if you are not a box method person, you're going to do it this way. Okay. And then box method people, if you prefer that method, now you're going to go ahead and start taking your GCF out of these two and writing those out so you can figure out what your factors are. If you are a slide divide person, you're going to say, okay, I took the 2, I slid it over, so now I have to divide by 2 and divide by 2. So we got to do the divide step. And when you divide, 10 divided by 2 is what? 5. Okay. And 1 over 2, does 1 divide by 2 evenly? No. Okay. And so anytime we have a fraction that doesn't divide evenly and that can't be reduced anymore, we go ahead and we take the bottom, we move it up to the front. So this should be 2r minus 1. Braden, go ahead and move your phone to the prison box, please. Are you on your phone? Yep, put your phone in the prison box. Because we're taking notes. Because you weren't doing anything. A bathroom's a privilege, not a right.
Is it push me to go pee?
All right, so we have, if you were doing the box method, r, for this you have a 2r, negative 1, for this you'd have a 5. So you get the same answer. R plus 5, 2r minus 1. All right. Would you guys like to try another one? You want to have some time to do some of the parts on your own? Yeah? Okay. So let's do... Which ones did I do? Okay. Let's do 6x squared minus 11x plus 5. Okay. All right. All right. So think about if we have a problem like this, what the first thing is that you need to do, and go ahead and see if you can get it started. So you can do the slide divide method or you can do the box method. It's up to you. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply to what? 30. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to 30. Don't say them out loud. Isaiah gave you a little bit of a hint. Close. Super close. Not quite there. Not quite there. Doesn't matter. Shh. You can do the calculator trick if you need to. Has anyone figured out the numbers? Yeah, what are they? -6, -5. -6, -5. Okay, so if you're doing the box method, it might look like this. If you're doing slide divide, this is what you've got. Go ahead and do the next step. Anyone know what the next step is? Divide. Divide by 2. Okay, we did the divide step. X minus 3. Okay. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we had one of them we could fix. Yeah, and then the other one, we can't write it as a decimal. We can't say 2.5. So this one, 5 over 2 does not reduce any further. And so this is where we do bottoms up. And so the bottom comes up to the front, 2x minus 5. Okay. Okay. And then if we were doing the box method, GCF between 6x and 6x is... and 6x squared is 6x. GCF over here is x. GCF over here, just -1. Nope. Did I write those wrong? Oh, that should have been... Hold on. What did I do? Six times 5 is 30. -11. Oh, we don't, sorry. We have to go back up here. I let us divide by the wrong number. I put a 2 there. What number should we have been dividing by? 6. Oh, Miss Rice, that was silly. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I started writing a 2, and that was wrong of me. I was like, why is this not right? Okay, we got to go back up here. I made a silly mistake. That was my fault. Okay. Yeah, so sorry. The number that you slide is the number you divide. So we slid a 6, and so the number we should have been dividing by is a 6. I was like, something is wrong. What is wrong here? Okay. 6 over 6 is -1. So -1 instead of -3. Okay. And then over here, we bottoms up this one. So the process was still the same. I don't know why I was thinking divide by 2. But I definitely was leading you. Whoever said 2, I was leading you to it too. I don't know why. I think because the last one we did was divide by 2. I was not using my brain. Okay, this is the answer. All right, let's take the factoring sheet we were just working on and flip it over to the other side. And let's start looking at some of these. So with these, we might start it today and then finish it tomorrow. So I might say, let's do set 1 today. Let's do the first 5 today. Does that sound reasonable? Start with these ones. Okay. All right. So the first one, we've got 3x squared plus 5x plus 2. So let's go ahead and start this problem. Okay, so we're going to take the 3, slide it over to the 2. 3 times 2 is what? 6. So we're looking for 2 numbers that multiply to 6 and add to what? 5. What are the numbers that multiply to 6 but add to 5? 3 and 2. Okay. So we have x plus 3, x plus 2. Okay. Why you all packed up 5 minutes early? Why you all packed up? Board and paper? Okay. Oh. All right. So we did the slide part, 3 times 2. What's our next step? Divide. We're going to divide by 3. The number that you slid is the number you divide by. Yep. So we divided by 3. And right here, 3 divided by 3 is what? 1. So we have, for the first set of parentheses, we have x plus 1. And then the second set of parentheses, we have 2 over 3. Does 2 over 3 reduce? It doesn't reduce. So if it doesn't reduce, what do we do with it? Yeah, we do bottoms up. Put the 3 in front of the x. 3x plus 2. So here's the answer. I wrote really tiny to make it fit. Okay, so it says write the trinomial in factored form. I did that. Find the factors in the 2 columns of binomials. One factor will have a letter and the other a number. Write the letter in the matching number box at the bottom of the page. So x plus 1 and 3x plus 2. So in box 12, we put a W. Right, Isaiah? Yeah? Did you hear that? You talked through my whole explanation. It kind of hurt my feelings, man. Like I'm a little hurt. All right. We're doing set 1. Set 1. Okay. So